What's up guys? Today we're going to steal Peter Parker's job. And this video is going to be all about photo mode in Marvel's Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. I just want to show you some ideas and things that I'm going to make and show the process, and maybe you'll get inspired or you'll just be entertained. Alright, let's get to it. I have the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit on, and we are gonna try to find some good light. It's gonna be the biggest thing. Find your light source, and the sun just looks too beautiful to really pass up. So we're gonna swing on by. Another thing you're gonna want to do, just out of safety, I like to make sure that I am in fidelity mode as far as my visual settings over here. This will make it so that you're playing in 30 frames per second, because I'd rather have high resolution for pictures and things, and then I can sacrifice my resolution when I'm going into performance mode, which targets 60 frames per second. Now we have your brightness and contrast, and that's really up to you how you want it to be. I mean, I think I might have the contrast a little too high. You can't really go wrong with like the standard settings, but if you just want to kind of do your own thing a little bit more, play around with it. I do like contrast. Go on 45 just so I can try to get more of the shadows, just a tiny bit more. So I'm gonna boost the brightness up a little bit. All right, I jumped in the air. Oh, oops. All right, let's see.
Sometimes I like to hold L2, so that slows down the web swinging and just the game overall.
So you want to pause right when you get the motion that you want. Let's see.
This is like the hardest part, is finding your angle, in my opinion.
That's cool.
Doing a complete 360, trying to find something good. I love zooming in, like the POV, because it just looks more realistic to the human eye to me. So that POV at 0 is optimal for my workflow.
This pose is kind of hard. We're gonna go press square and go to enable posing. So once you've enabled posing, you can do a lot more stuff, a lot of cool stuff, let me tell you that. Well, let's just get kind of light that I want. Something, I think, kind of like it like that. I think it's moody. Maybe let's just see what a different pose. I don't know. Do a bunch though, which is great. Ooh. Oh, this could be spicy. Oh, this would be. Ooh, look at that. And you get the Statue of Liberty in the back. I can cry. You got the moon. I don't want to get overly excited here. Okay, we should probably throw on a light. I need like something just to brighten it up a tiny bit, because I just want to see a little more definition. Let's see, color intensity. Let's turn that color. Maybe we do a little color, make it like match the sun. All right. Okay, there it is. So to go up on the y-axis, you hold R2 or press R2, and then down is LL2. Also rotate it with the left analog stick. Look at that.
I love the virtual photography setup that this game provides, and a lot of other AAA games are now doing. It's just so rewarding to go in and use like virtual light setups and having full control over these lights. Also, of course, having full control over your aperture, your focusing, all the other elements, you know. It's worth testing out if you like when the light casts shadows, or if you like it when that function is turned off. Next pose here, we're going in and figuring out framing and also your crop and what aspect ratio really is what you're looking for. Just get a new angle. I just love the 4x3 look. I don't know, something about it just seems so neat to me, and it just really does a good job boxing in Spider-Man in this, especially this one right here. I was really contemplating how bright I wanted this to be and how much of the background I wanted to be in focus, so that became a little bit of a challenge for me. Here are the results. That's probably my favorite, and that one too. And now we have this one, and I like it overall. That shows like motion and him ripping through the air and web swinging. The only problem, of course, is you see the web going through his hand. So that's something to be mindful of, is that sometimes the webs just don't look right when you do pause it at the wrong time. But overall, you can work around that. You can still find a lot of good angles to make it look realistic. All right, now we're gonna go into the gloomy weather. I missed the exact moment I wanted with all the sparks floating around him, but I like to lean into mistakes and create something even more unique. There were some sparks and things like behind him and to the side, but when I was zooming in, I did get some more sparks in the front of him. But I do like that we get to see his arms, his extra arms in the back there, like kind of in the middle of retracting. And just adds a cool look you don't really see often. Okay, a pro tip here is to turn down your focus distance so that Spider-Man actually stands out a little more. Really like this filter that we have on here. Of course, I made this darker and it just looks like straight out of a comic book. I know like in real life, overcast is great for photography, so why wouldn't it apply in the virtual space? I like this one too. Maybe a little too dark for some people. I know I'm crushing my blacks a lot here, so that's fine, but I just like how punchy it is. So now we're going to move on to this one. Of course, I love the spiral of his web, and we see his mechanical arms here in full force. So I think this one does a lot. It's really engaging because he's like shooting webs right at you. Just like a cool perspective. But there's a lot you can do with this because, of course, I timed the pause correctly, so I was able to get this motion, right? I mean, it's like in the middle of him doing his power boost, of course, pressing circle to do like the little extra web that he shoots out there. But this is kind of more what I wanted, like with more like the sparkles or whatever that is, the sparks in front of him as well. And the fashion filter, I think does a good job just kind of delivering some really good contrast with his suit and the overcast sky. Yeah, it just looked really clean to me. But there's just so many different angles you can do. I just love it because like you don't usually get to photograph a guy jumping in the air, you know, flying around New York City. And of course, I'm a lifelong Spider-Man fan, so this is just like a dream come true, especially the fact that I am a photographer in real life. So this is just a great exercise to experiment, find new looks, new angles that no one else has, or you can make it your own still and really fine tune your own craft in photography. The more you zoom in, of course, you could experiment with the effects with you zooming in, like the POV and whatever. So there's a lot you can do here. Also got to mention that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is probably my favorite suit. The movie, not so much, but I think the suit is just perfect. I love the big lenses and I love the design of the suit overall, the webbing, the color palette. It feels like a nice blend between the Raimi Spider-Man films and the comic books, especially the Ultimate Spider-Man comic book line. Maybe one day we'll get Amazing Spider-Man 3. That'd be pretty tight. The web also looks like it's realistically coming out of his hand there, so definitely a step up from the previous one where I was talking about how the web was going through his hand. I just love the spiral and I wanted to get it like all the way around the frame. Gonna change some effects here. What else? Yeah, POV, exposure, gonna brighten that bad boy back up. You're getting some reflection in his lenses. The suit really glows beautifully. Now the very last thing for this image I want to do is change the focus distance so it's looking like the lens is losing focus of the web. So basically increasing the DOF range near, I want that to be boosted. So see how I'm doing this? It just adds a bit of realism. The web is just shooting way over your head almost. Now it is time for the results. I'm also going to show you guys some other images that I took. I like this one because you get to see Spider-Man over someone just watching TV at their couch. I think it's kind of funny. And this one, I like this side angle with this filter on it. It looks like it's very Spider-Verse, like Across the Spider-Verse. It also just looks like a comic book. This one's kind of weird because you can kind of see his eye twice there and it looks kind of funny, but you can adjust the amount of the filters and it will change the effects, of course. This one I like a little more because everything just looks a little more engaging. You can see like his hand and everything. It looks like he's really like on a mission there, a little more engaging than the previous angle. This one I thought looked pretty realistic. Of course, it's still the video game, but I like how the suit looks. The light, how it's reflecting off the red is awesome. Okay, that's another one with the building. In this, I finally got the mechanical arms right, and it just looks so tight. Love this perspective. I did tilt the image to make it look chaotic, like Spider-Man flying through the air. This is cool because it's like you're looking up at him, or he's looking down at you. It looks kind of menacing though, so that's kind of cool. I like the building, how it's slanted. It evokes a darker tone. This one's really cool, punchier, a lot more contrast and rich color. This one is one of my favorites right here. I just love how the light rays or whatever from the mechanical arms are coming out of the bottom right corner corner, and it just looks so sick. And I just love the square aspect ratio, or 4:3 or whatever. This one's a little funny, but I still think it looks kind of cool. Full screen though, looks pretty tight with mechanical arms here. Really love the light streams, you know, bottom right corner again. This one's kind of cool. I wish I got a little more detail in his suit here. It's kind of too dark for me, but I digress. This one's also really cool. You get to see the building just towering over him. And it feels like a comic book. Like these right here, these frames look really tight. I love reading comic books, so I wanted to kind of evoke what it's like for him to be soaring through the air, web swinging, and doing all his acrobatic stuff and powering through. I love the glow of it. This one too, it feels like a comic book, really like a dark tone, but like kind of surreal. So that's my favorite one. All right, guys, thank you again for tuning in and watching this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, all the notification bells and whistles, and let me know what you want to see next. This is Where Am I 55, and I will see you guys in the next video.